What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Blank Online here today to chat with you more about some Call of Duty Modern Warfare and some Call of Duty Warzone as well. Today we're going to go through the big changes that Infinity Ward is making to the Gulag that fundamentally changes how that whole mode operates. We're also going to be talking about new DLC maps, changes to Warzone, and much more as a result of the title update version 1.21, which is out currently on all platforms: PS4, Xbox One, and PC. If you're on the PS4, it's a 20.2 GB update. On Xbox One, it's a 31 GB update. And for PC, if you only own Warzone, it's 26 gigs. And if you own Modern Warfare, it's 30 gigs. So it's not the biggest patch in the world. We've definitely seen bigger, but it's definitely not small. Mainly because of the new maps we're getting, as well as the new content we're going to be getting here as well, in terms of changes to the game modes, new things being added, and all that sort of stuff. Let's get into the multiplayer stuff, because that's not the most important thing for this video, and it's not the most important thing in general. Two new maps, so Hard Hat, the remaster of the Modern Warfare 3 map, and Isle 9, which is a new gunfight map. I don't really know much about Isle 9, and honestly I don't really care, because I don't really play gunfight. But if you play gunfight and you're excited for this map, good on you. There's a new map coming for you. Good job. I don't know why I said good job, but good job. Hard Hat is coming to this game, and it's going to be interesting to see how that map plays here in Modern Warfare as a result of accommodating for safe spaces and that sort of stuff, doors and windows and all that crap. So Hard Hat is a really open map, so I don't know where they can sort of add doors to Hard Hat. I'm sure there's places that they'll find to add a door somewhere, because they've got to have doors. But in general, Hard Hat is a more open map, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays here in Modern Warfare's multiplayer. And I hope it plays well, because we've had some really decent DLC maps. So Shoot House, obviously, Shipment, Rust is not my cup of tea, but some people like it, and I hope that Hard Hat adds to that list of actually decent multiplayer DLC maps that Modern Warfare's multiplayer seems to sort of cling on to, those DLC maps. If you notice, right, so there's going to be a Hard Hat 24/7 playlist, but if you notice, there's always a Shipment 24/7 playlist, a Shoot the Ship, a Shoot the Dirty Houseboat. Like, it's only 24/7 playlists of the DLC maps, and not the actual base game maps, which is testament to the quality of the DLC maps, because they're mostly remastered maps and not original Modern Warfare maps. But we'll move on from multiplayer and we'll talk about Warzone here, because that's more interesting. I'm going to go through all of the main changes to Warzone, and then we'll talk about the Gulag changes at the end of the video. The first thing that's new here in Warzone is the new item. So the armor box is coming into the game. It's replacing the shield turret in buy stations, but shield turrets are still available through supply crates. Basically, the armor box, think of it like the munitions box, except for armor. It's the best way to put it. So instead of let's say buying a shield plate bundle for 5 shield for just you buy an armor box, and you can refill armor for your entire team, which is a nice little idea. It's a nice little item, and I think it's really good. I don't think it unbalances the game in any way. I don't think it makes the game unfair. I don't think it changes much, to be honest with you. It's just a different item in the game that benefits more than it hinders. I guess if we're putting our super critical hat-ons here, if we're thinking of ways that this could sort of hinder the game, you could think that people will always be running around with armor boxes, which makes sense. But then you got to counteract that with munitions boxes and dead silence. Like, there's a bunch of different options for people to sort of run in terms of that slot. I guess an armor box is just a nice little ingredient in the mix, if you'd like to say. So I like that idea. I like that it's here in Warzone. The next thing they did is that they reduced the RPG kill radius for players with full armor, and interesting to see how they only nerfed the RPG in this way. I assume this is splash damage, and only players with full armor, which is interesting to say the least. Wouldn't they sort of nerf the RPG for any sort of health? So 2, 1 armor, no armor. I don't know. The RPG is beginning to be a problem here in Warzone, and they're not really addressing it with this fix. So I hope that in the near future they actually fix or nerf the RPG, because if they're going through all these lengths to nerf the 357 snake shots, and we'll get into another gun that's been nerfed here as well, and they haven't done anything to other RPG, that's something that I I don't know. I don't really understand why they're not addressing that, but I don't know. We'll move on. The next thing that they nerfed, and the most important, not the most important, but the most, I guess, interesting thing that they nerfed here was the Renettis. They reduce damage when in akimbo, and the MK3 burst mod are both equipped. So when you have both those attachments equipped, that's when the damage gets nerfed on the Renettis. The MK3 burst mod has significant hipfire increase and a small decrease to damage when it's just the MK3 burst by itself. Interesting, again, to say the least. I did make a video talking about Warzone's new meta weapon, and this has completely blown that out of the water, because now it's pretty much unusable. Even before, when it didn't get nerfed, it was maybe, I kind of hyped it up a little bit too much, but you know, we'll move on from that. Renettis aren't it anymore. They've moved quick, they've moved fast, and the Renetti akimbo with the MK3 burst mod is not it anymore. So this, again, continuing on from my RPG point, just makes the RPG that much more accessible, and what we're probably going to see is more people running RPGs. And if they're only reducing the splash damage when your player has full health and not anything else, it's going to get really annoying. Like, really annoying. Nothing's worse than getting RPG spammed. That's the worst thing in the world, and it's gonna happen even more now, which is fan-fucking-tastic. The next thing they did as well is the final circle now moves. Before, your final circle would sort of just collapse in on itself, whereas now the circle will actually move while collapsing in on itself, which is cool, which is kind of like a more traditional battle royale mechanic there. And I like that it's here in Warzone. I think it's going to add an interesting element to the way you rotate in that final circle. So it's going to be cool to see how that works in game once you get to that final circle part of the game. The next thing before we talk about the Gulag, and I think this is the most interesting thing before the Gulag, is Most Wanted coming back. So Most Wanted is back, and it's not replacing bounties this time. There's 4 contracts on the map now. So you got scav, you got recons, you got bounties, and you got Most Wanted. They've also changed the timing of the Most Wanted. So instead of 5 minutes you have to survive, it's only 3, which is good because 5 minutes is a long fucking time. So I like that it's 3 minutes now, and I like that it's there as well as bounties. One of the things that people complained about, and myself included, was that they removed bounties and added Most Wanted. Bounties is one of the it's one of the more fun contracts to do, especially if you're going for a high kill game. To sort of add that with Most Wanted and still have everything on the map, I think that's interesting, and I think that's a cool concept, and that's a good thing that they did there. Interesting to see that it took them this long to do it, to add Most Wanted back. I genuinely thought we were never going to see Most Wanted again, so it's a happy little surprise that it's here and back in Warzone. If they remove it again, I have no idea what's going on, but from what it looks like, it's here to stay, so that's cool. Let's talk about Gulag and the changes they've made to the Gulag. This is controversial to say the least. Yeah, let's talk about Gulag. There's new weapons, there's new loot that's in the game, like the SKS and different blueprints and stuff like that, but that's not really important. Let's talk about Gulag. Now in the Gulag, you'll be able to get automatic weapons, as opposed to just having pistols and shotguns before. Now you have fully automatic weapons, no burst, no single fire guns included. The weapons that will now be in the Gulag are the Kilo 141, the M4, the AK-47, the M13, the SCAR, the Ray M7, the MP5, the AUG, the P90, and the Striker 45. This is problematic, because the thing with the Gulag is, and I guess the concept of it all, was to throw players into an arena where you fight for survival with the bare bones minimum you can have. And in an ideal world, for me personally, if I was to make changes to the Gulag, it wouldn't be to add automatic weapons. If anything, it would be to remove shotguns and remove lethals and tacticals. So it's literally just pistols, bare pistols, and it's the winner is based on who has the best gun skill and the best gunplay, and it's determined that way. Adding automatic weapons to the Gulag does not make people better. It doesn't prove who's better, and it doesn't make death in the Gulag any more or less satisfying. If anything, it makes it more infuriating to die in the Gulag, because literally anyone can get a kill with an automatic weapon. Anyone can. It doesn't matter if you're the best player in the game. It doesn't matter if you're the worst player at the game. Anyone can win a Gulag if you have an automatic weapon. That's the point of the Gulag. It's a second chance at life, but you're given the bare bones because you gotta kind of use your gun skill to win those Gulag battles and respawn back. This doesn't do that. Your AK-47 will 2-tap. It will 2-tap in the Gulag, and while yes, so does the 357 and so does the Desert Eagle. The AK-47 has a faster fire rate than those weapons. Your M4 will probably, I would say maybe three to four shots to kill. Same with your Kilo. Your Scar will be almost a 2-tap as well. Has similar damage to your AK-47, your M13, your MP5, your P90 has a super fast fire rate. So, and in terms of damage, it doesn't have a lot of damage, but fire rate will murder anybody. So in terms of that balancing element of the Gulag, it makes absolutely no sense for automatic weapons to be there, and I don't like it at all. I don't think it needs to happen. It's here though, it's in the game, so I guess we gotta see what happens here, because we could be seeing a situation like we had with the Most Wanted contracts, where it was in the game for like a day and then it's removed the next day because no one liked it and it didn't work well. I see that situation happening again here with automatic weapons being added to the Gulag. I don't think it needs to be there. I don't think it works in the Gulag at all, because as I said, anybody, and I mean anybody, can kill a dude with an automatic weapon. And that's facts. That's genuine facts. And if you like automatic weapons being in the Gulag, please let me know why in the comments down below. I'd love to hear a different opinion, because obviously I can only have my own opinion, so I'd love to hear different opinions on it. If you do like the fact that they did this, please let me know why in the comments down below. And obviously I'll reply and I'll chat with you about it, because I think that'd be an interesting conversation to have, to see sort of a different perspective on it all. But for me personally, as I said, if it was down to me and I was a designer at Infinity Ward and they told me, what would you like to do with the Gulag this week, Jaden, I would say, okay, let's remove any lethals and tacticals, let's remove shotguns, and let's just have a base pistols. That's the best way to do it. Because even having lethals and tacticals there doesn't make sense. That's not bare bones. Anyone can kill anyone with a C4. You can just stun it. You can literally flash or stun a dude, and that's just an easy kill. It doesn't require any skill. You just press a button and they get blinded and you kill them. That's not hard at all. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out in Gulag, and how the situation evolves. At least how people's feedback will alter or not do anything to Infinity Ward's decision making to either remove automatic weapons or include them till the end of time. I don't know, but for me, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it, and we're gonna see how this situation evolves. But that's enough for me today, guys. If you like this video, click like, comment down below again with those opinions on the big changes to the Gulag automatic weapons. It's a massive change. It's a massive change. And if you don't see the scope of this change, you probably, I don't know. It's massive. It's big. Because, again, because the concept of the Gulag is to have a bare bones fight, and this is not a bare bones fight. Having equipment and having automatic weapons, you basically have your loadout in the Gulag, which is fucking nuts. Anyway, yeah, comment down below all that stuff I said before about, do you like the idea of automatic weapons? Do you not like the idea of automatic weapons? Leave it all down below. Click subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on my next video. We're very, very close to 500 subscribers, and I'm super grateful for everyone who's subscribed in the past, not even half a year. Like, literally at the start of the year we had just hit 100 subscribers at the start of the year, and I thought that was fucking awesome. And to be where we are right now, and for the channel to be growing like it's never been growing before, I'm super thankful for every single one of you who's clicked subscribe and continues to watch these videos. If you were the first subscriber, if you're the 457th subscriber, I thank you all the same. Alright guys, that's enough sentimental shit for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
She wanna know my real name. She getting way too comfortable. Now she wanna wear my chain. I'm feeling way too vulnerable. She wanna know my government name. She getting way too comfortable. Now she wanna wear my chain. I'm feeling way too